Keep on, keeping on. Keep on.
Okay. So, welcome back to Chasing Purple, and we're here on episode 4, I believe. And I've been a little off here because I had the flu. I don't know if you follow me on Instagram, J_Karma. I talked a little bit about the flu, and I did a PSA saying, don't mess with the flu. 2018, this year is pretty rough, more so than it's been in years past. So just be careful with that. So here I am, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about I said diet was probably one of the number one things. I'm not going to say which comes first, the chicken or the egg, but I do know one other very primary thing in healing any disease or just being general wellness is exercise. Okay. Gotta move, and you gotta keep on moving. And you move what you can while you can. And that's pretty much been my experience. I was an athlete coming up, so I've always been athletic. I've always been a runner, so I would run as an adult, and that's what I did. I also would ride my bike too. I was a bicyclist and a runner, and I did that for many years until I couldn't anymore. After my first relapse, obviously I couldn't run. I could barely walk. But I worked myself back up to being able to run again. And I did. I ran, and I did a lot of biking too. So I kind of did both of those. And Pilates and yoga has always been something I've been able to maintain. The intensity of the Pilates and yoga has changed, especially in recent years. And that's why I just say my main point is to say just do what you can while you can. And, in MS itself, just be open to interpretation. Meaning, like, it's going to change, and that doesn't mean that you might not be able to ever lift weights again, but you might come to a period of time where you cannot lift weights the same way that you did, or do something the same way to the same intensity that you had before. Maybe forever, maybe just for a period of time. So the main thing is to not get discouraged with that process and have some patience with that. And I dealt with that for many, many years, as far as having to adjust my workout routine to what I could do, and then and making, pretty regular adjustments, but just trying to make sure I got cardio and strength training and flexibility. Those are like the main things you want to work on as far as having MS particularly. And like I said, general wellness. Flexibility is really key with MS and spasticity. One of the best things to treat spasticity is to stretch and to keep stretching. So like having a good yoga program or having a good stretching routine and working that flexibility is really important to help with symptoms. And exercise in general helps with symptoms. Just mobility, strength. You want to keep those things going so that as you feel weakness or you feel tired, it's less. It lessens those things. And also you'll know that it's from the MS unless just you're not in shape or your lifestyle is making you tired, or your lifestyle is making you weak, because you're not working out. If you're not working out, then you're not able to have the strength that you may feel weak, and that's not necessarily the MS all the time. So, but then sometimes it is. But if you're working out on a regular basis, then you kind of know, that, okay, it's not the exercise. It's not me not doing what I should be doing. This is definitely the MS making me weaker. Because, yes, I've been doing this workout and I'm still getting weaker. And that's kind of where I am at a point, and I guess when you get to more progressive phases of MS, it kind of gets to a point where it's not a direct correlation in time, with as far as your ability to build muscle may just not be there anymore after a certain point due to neurological damage. I don't know. I mean, I'm just interpreting my own experience of, I've worked out for 15 years before I started getting progressive, and I would see gains, I'm getting stronger here, and, I can walk more, I can, ride my bike for a little bit longer, always to a certain extent, but, I could see gains, or I felt like at least I was maintaining a level of strength and a level of flexibility. But since I've been progressive, even still trying to incorporate the same level of exercise to the, to the intensity that I can, I am still always feeling weaker and generally less flexible and weaker, and that's really frustrating because, it's like, it's muscle atrophy, but it's based on nerve damage. So the working out is not doing anything for me as far as like building muscle. And, that is tough because I know when I first started to realize it, I would cry a lot when I was working out, or at least once or twice, because I didn't have the strength, and I could see that I was losing strength, and I kept trying to do the same things that I was doing. So, I just was frustrated. So it was almost depressing for me to work out. And I remember I went to PT, and part of the challenge he gave me was to smile in my workout, make myself smile, because otherwise it was depressing, and like exercise is supposed to help depression, not make it worse, So I definitely had to work on that. And as time progressed, so did the progression. So I really had to, I had no choice but to accept that, okay, this is happening. I'm getting more and more paralyzed, which means this working out is going to change. And, it did. Like, I went from running, and then walking, and then to, riding a bike was my main, so a stationary bike, I had that, and then that became unsafe because I started losing more balance, so I'll be falling off. So I got the Pilates machine that you'll see on some of this footage, and that's been a lifesaver, because I fall off that thing too with my balance, but there's not far to fall. So you can even see maybe in some of the footage, if you look closely. I know I'm going to speed it up probably, but even there, I think I pretty much fall off of everything. So if I'm not careful, I could fall out my wheelchair at any point in time. So, that's just is what it is as far as the strength levels being that low, and the paralysis being that high, and the balance issues being that off for me. And despite the fact that I continue to work out and have regularly for all 18 years that I've had the MS. So, it is a tough pill to swallow, because, it's like the things you associate that should be happening while you work out, for working out, or as a benefit of working out, you feel the opposite. And so that's been frustrating for me. But anybody going through that, I just say, at the end of the day, you have no choice but to accept it, and you just do what you can while you can, and don't beat yourself up about what you can't do anymore, and just don't give up on the doing. Just give up on the grieving part of what you can't do. Because, I gave myself room to grieve, but then I realized with progression in the MS, it doesn't necessarily ever stop or slow down, or you don't know when it is going to stop or slow down. So you can't just keep grieving. Grief is not for long periods of time. Grief is more suited for a period of time. I'm not going to say you know how to grieve. Tell anybody how to grieve, but you grieve for one thing. But you keep grieving over, like restarting the grief process over and over for every little level of loss. That's a depressing existence. That's you don't need any more of that. So I would just say, if you're in a position like me, which some people are, you just, keep doing what you can while you can. You got to keep it moving some kind of way. Really main things would be to try to make sure you stay on that flexibility and that strength training. You may not be able to get a whole lot of cardio in, easily. Or you may have to go out for that. You may not, you might need to do that in a facility, like maybe water therapy or PT on a, with FEMS, which is electrical. They do use electrical stimulation in PT to help people with more paralysis to actually perform things on bikes and stuff so they can get their heart rate up. So, you might have to go out for that, and if you can do that once a week, then that's great. If you could get yourself a Pilates machine, you can get your heart rate up a little bit with that too, depending on how mobile you are. The more mobile you are, the more you can do with that. The less mobile, but still you can do a simulation of squats laying down, pretty quickly and get a heart rate going, or just continue through the exercise without stopping. Will get your heart rate up somewhat. That's helped me. So I definitely feel like, though, that exercise is one of the most important things we can do. As human beings, we're built to move, and built to walk and built to run. So when you get to a point where you can't walk or run, then you have to figure out other things. And really, you should be exercising twice as much as the other person, as a mobile person, because you have to make up for that much mobility. You have to exercise like they would, but then the fact that they're moving around all day, walking, and you're sitting, so you should be doubling up on that, and then I'm just saying that it should happen. I don't do that because I don't have time for it, for A, and for B, I don't have time for it. I might could probably have the energy for it. I don't know. I might not have the energy for that either. But, but that's just saying that's how important that little bit that you do is. Because if you do nothing, then you put yourself in an even worse scenario. So, so my program, I just narrate some of it. It looks like I go about 3 to 5 times a week average. I have weeks where I can work out every day, and I have weeks where I can work out maybe only 3 days. So it's really fluctuates for me, and I've learned to be okay with that because it really is based on a lot of what my body is telling me. So, and I try to keep my schedule regular as much as possible. So like sleep schedules and things like that, and workout schedules and wake up schedules and all that, so that I can have a regular routine for the working out. But life doesn't always fit in like that. I have a lot of doctor's appointments. I have kids. They have doctor's appointments. They have, it's almost like always something going on in my schedule that and on any week could switch it up to a point where I might have to stay up later, which means, it just anything can change the schedule. It's just a tight schedule, and there's not a lot of room for variation. So when variation comes, it kind of throws off things. So like I said, so it could be any little as 3 times a week. It could be as much as every day. I try to make an attempt to exercise every day, or movement or something. Or even, like, if you're chair bound, standing is a great exercise. Like, you could just be watching TV, and if you can stand, then stand for the commercial breaks. Start with that, and then work on standing for the shows, and then sitting on the commercial breaks. You can just definitely find ways to, like, just get that motion in, just to stretch your body out so you're not sitting the whole time in the chair. Because then you get pressure sores and things like that building up, and those nobody wants to deal with. I've been fortunate not to get that, but like I said, I try to move as much as I can, or get out of the chair in some kind of way and do something different posturally with my body. So, yeah, so for me, it's like I said, 3 to 7 times a week. I rotate between a yoga, flexibility type, strength, floor workout, and the Pilates, and standing exercises and squats. So, and balance exercises I do in that too. And with the squats, I do toe raises. So that's kind of like my 3 main things that I'll go through and do something different, one of those different things in a day. And if I don't have time for the Pilates machine, a lot of times, if something's going to get cut, it'll be that. And I'll just do the squats and the toe raises and the calf raises, whatever, when you're on your foot and you go on your toe type of thing, which is a difficult movement for me. So that, and standing, and then my version of squats, which are not anybody else's versions, but whatever, they're an exercise for me, and they're difficult. So I do them to the best of my ability, and standing, so those I can slip in just about any day. That's why I can exercise every day if I really push, because I can do that and can count that as something, as an exercise. And I would count that as an exercise. And I can do that, and like I said, and watch TV or watch YouTube or whatever. I do a lot of I do self-employment things that require me to learn a lot of things that I don't know, and I use YouTube a lot. So I'm always like watching some type of video. So yeah, it's a good time for me to stand up and do some squats, or do some toe raises, calf raises, and balance exercise, which are balance standing exercises. So, I do that, and I push that in there when I can. So it's between those 3, and then the yoga I do is based on, I've done yoga for years. Hell, I could have taught yoga if I wanted to. I almost went and got certified, but I didn't end up having the time for that because I was doing some other type of schooling. So I just kind of made the choice to just do traditional schooling. But anyway, I'm well versed in the yoga practice. So the stuff that I do is based on what I can do safely without hurting myself, and what's necessary. So it's a lot of like focused on leg work, and also arms and shoulders, and just a general all around yoga routine. And then I also do things that I've learned in PT along the way to help strengthen my hip area and my back of my legs, and just different challenging areas that I have, core muscles. So, push-ups and things like that. So that's kind of like my exercise routine now. And like I said, over the years, that has changed drastically, and it's varied. And, it is what it is. It is what it is whenever it is, whatever it is. And like I said, you do what you can while you can. And when you have to make adjustments, you make adjustments. But you got to keep moving, and you got to keep going. Because if you stop moving, you're going to be losing faster than you're losing. Even when you start progressing, believe it or not, I feel like if I didn't work out, I'd even be feeling more paralyzed faster. So fortunately, that is the case for me at this point in time. So I just do what I can while I can, and I just keep it moving. Gotta keep it moving. So to that note, I charge you all to keep up with your exercise program if you're doing it. If you're not doing one, I say start, figure out what you can do and start doing it, and do it on a regular basis, and try to do it every day if you can, and don't make excuses. And if you have pain, because if you haven't been working out, I don't care how small of a workout you start doing, especially if you have MS, you're going to have some type of pain after the first day. And it might be a weird ass pain because you have MS, so it might feel like, oh, this ain't even like exercise pain. This is some weird pain. But yeah, so it's just exercise pain, and you'll get over it. You just have to keep doing it, keep showing up for yourself, and keep showing up and keep doing the workout. Yeah, so come back next time to Chasing Purple, and we'll talk about some more cool shit. Like, follow, subscribe, share videos. Go check out my GoFundMe page. Make a donation if you want to contribute to my own quest for a cure. And yeah, my daughters have started their own YouTube site. They're pretty funny. So check out the Teddy Bear channel, and they have different things going on there. And follow me on social media. Check me out there. I'm on Instagram and Facebook doing big things there that don't always include MS. So if you're interested in that part of my life, check me out. J_Karma on Instagram, and J Rashawn on Facebook, I believe. And I'm also on Twitter, JW5Karma, maybe the Twitter handle. But I have all this stuff in the links below. So if you're interested in following me, there's plenty of ways. And thanks for coming out. Big up to all my 10 loyal subscribers that sit here and put up with me. I love you guys. And also big up to my folks who contributed to the campaign. I've had some folks contribute in the last couple weeks quite a bit. So big ups to you guys, and I really feel the prayers, and I really appreciate the support and the generosity. I'm just here, and you guys are helping me out. So that right there is just blessings upon blessings. And I just hope that you receive as much as you give, and you all give as much as you receive, and we keep this flow going. Peace out. I love everyone, and God loves you, and yeah, keep it on, you guys.
Keep on. Keep keeping on.